It was a dream come true for us.
It was. It was.
All of those people were our idols. They were the people that we looked up to. We watched each week, and we just had made up in our minds that we were going to go on tour with them. And a year later, we were there. So it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, did you guys kind of get starstruck? Like, oh, that's New Edition. I grew up singing "Cool It Now" and all this. I actually had a crush on one of them. Was it that kind of situation?
No, it's really funny because we had already met so many people by the time we got there that we were already had relationships. We already knew them. So they were just kind of like, oh, my God, they're here for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of knew because even prior, I remember saying to Ronnie from New Edition, we're gonna be on tour with you. And he kind of like patronized me like, oh, okay, yeah. And then the day of the tour, we went over we had our road manager take us over to their hotel, and I knocked on the door. And the first day of the tour was in South Carolina, actually. So he knew I was from South Carolina. He knew Tara and I were. So I knocked on the door, and he was like, hey. And he was like, oh, you guys came for the show? And we said, no, we're in the show. And he just laughed like, oh, my goodness, because we had just said to him, we're going to be on tour with you. So it's interesting because Tara and I had been dreaming all of this and really believing it. And it was very surreal to, in a year's time, to see all of the things that she and I, we were in agreement with this, in agreement with this. And in a year's time to see all the things that we've been staying up late at night talking about and dreaming about, that it was now a reality. It was a magical time, and the guys were great. I mean, we were like the little sisters of the tour.
Now, was there any, backstage pranks and stuff going on, food fights, water gun fights, anything of that nature?
Oh, all the time. Bobby was just crazy. He was a lot of fun. So he was always stirring up something on off days.
Now, what were your guys' take on Troop?
Oh, we loved them. Tara?
Played them every day.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah,
Troop. Once again, we knew, all of these people at the time and, had built relationships with them and really respected their craft. And so, to be around so many talented people all the time was just amazing.
Right. Yeah. Now, what was going on? Okay, Heartbreak Tour, debut album '88. What went on after that?
Well, when we got off tour, we came back to New York, and we were doing shows like in the area. Like we were doing shows in New York. We were doing shows in New Jersey. And then shortly thereafter, it just seemed, I think Al, help me out, Tara, with here, because this is the part I kind of get a little weird on. But this is like Al had taken off, like tremendously. And I don't know, Terry ended up, Tara and I moved to Philadelphia. Terry ended up going into another group, and that was a little disappointing, honestly, for us. But, looking back, and even shortly thereafter, we realized that everything happened for a reason, because then Tara had reached a point where she felt like, you know what, I'm really taken to the business of all of this, and I don't really want to be, in the front anymore. She was kind of like our Michael Bivins, and so she didn't want to be on stage performing anymore, but we were all we were really good songwriters, each of us. So, so then about a year afterwards, we came back together, and we decided, you know what, it'll be me and Terry, and then Tara would manage us, which was a very unique situation. And just to make a long story short, that's basically what happened. And then from the girls, the group Terry and Monica was then born, which Tara was still a silent member of. She was our manager, and she also wrote the songs with us.
Okay, because I remember seeing the video for and everybody was in it, so it was kind of like, there was no ill will, just like, okay, we're going to do this, but we still collectively are the girls.